Hi guys, let's get this right. How we going? It's Louis in the UK. I'm just going to tell everyone we're live. It's defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. I've just been for a 3-mile walk, so I'm a bit. So I thought, get myself a coffee and have a chat with you guys before my wife gets home. My wife is out with her friend. So I'm going to give you guys a chance to join me. You're very welcome. Right. I'll just tell everyone we're live. So how is everyone? Did we enjoy the Michael Jackson, Lisa Marie live? Was that good? Hi, how are you going, Sherry? Did any of you get to see the Michael Jackson live? Right, I'm just making sure that everyone's been told. Let's have a look. We're live. I'm not sure how long I've got until my wife gets home. So probably about 45 minutes. How is everyone? Now, I'm going to read your comments. I keep saying I'm going to read your comments. Hi, Mike. I keep saying I'm going to read people's comments, and I never do, so I'm going to. But I also have this really cute little book. And my 4-year-old keeps saying to me, Dad, why do you never read this book? Now, I bought this book for £3 off Amazon. It's tiny. A Rough Guide to Elvis. The Man, the Music, the Movies, the Myth by Paul Simpson. £3 delivered to my door. And look how fat it is. And it is full of brilliant information. I've never read any of it. So my little 4-year-old kept bringing this book over to me because it's so cute. Look how small it is. It's a little bit bigger than my hand. My hand, I don't have big hands, yeah? So this is a very small book, perfect for traveling, like on a train or on an aeroplane or in a bus, coach, whatever, in a car journey, or just trying to pass time, and it fits in your bag really well. So I thought, I'm going to take my son up on the challenge and I'm going to read some of this. But before I do that, hi, Darlene from Alabama. How you going? Right. Do you have a coffee, guys? I make my coffee with butter and milk and coffee and water, and I whisk it together. The milk, I know most people don't put butter in their coffee, but I find it stops me from feeling hungry. And I use a whisker, like whisk it and blend it, and it tastes nice and creamy. It doesn't taste like butter. It tastes like clotted cream in your coffee. It's very nice. Yes, we have to have a coffee, guys. I'm going to put a bit of hot water in it. Now, we've only got about half an hour-ish, maybe 40 minutes. So I'm going to start reading your comments. Now, we did a Michael Jackson, we did a Lisa Marie Michael Jackson live stream this morning. Let's see if I can face this a bit to the Elvis, so we can see a bit of Elvis in the background. Yes, we do need Elvis in the background. Yeah, it's not that close, but it'll do. Let's just see who we got here. So we have Darlene. Hi, Darlene. Is that a new name, Darlene? Welcome. Let's go back a little bit. So I'm not so it's facing me a bit. I'm a bit like hello. Right. Let's have a look. So we've got. So we're talking about the audio book of From Here to the Great Unknown, which I did find a free copy of it on YouTube, but it does. But it doesn't have the original voices. It doesn't have Julia Roberts, and I'm gonna have to go this way, guys, because it looks like I'm not looking at you, which is annoying because I wanted to get Elvis in there. Let's have a look, see if I can go further back. Maybe that will be better because I want to have Elvis in the background. Yeah. Okay, that seems okay. Yeah. So let's have a look. So we've got hi Francis. We've got Valvis. Darlene is from Alabama. We've got Adrian. Hi, Adrian. I've only just come on. Jane, Stacy, Chicky Blue, good morning. So it's morning for you. Is it for us here in the UK? It is 5 p.m. Have I missed anyone? I think that's everyone. Lorna, hi Lorna. I have been reading all your comments on YouTube. I want you to know I do read all of your comments, everyone. I never miss a comment. It sometimes takes me a while to catch up, but I do read them all. Right. Now, we also did a dog walk live, even though the dogs weren't with me. I went for a long walk. And that live is called, and I think you'll really enjoy it. Let me just tell you what it was called. It was called, Was Priscilla Presley Loyal to Elvis and Lisa Marie Presley? Now, we know the answer, don't we, Guy? Was Priscilla Presley loyal to Elvis and Lisa Marie? And we were comparing how loyal Priscilla is to Lisa Marie. There's a complete difference, isn't there? It's chalk and cheese. Lisa Marie is the most loyal person you could ever meet. True, honest, decent, and honorable. That's Lisa Marie Presley. Now, Priscilla, we broke down all the different relationships, the different friendships that she's had, the different business things that have happened, the divorce settlements, the unfaithfulness, the way she stole Mike Stone's from his wife, Frances Stone, the way she betrayed Elvis in the way that she was unfaithful, and the way that when Lisa Marie passed away, God rest her soul, how she treated Lisa and Riley when she and the twins when she contested the last wishes of Lisa Marie. So there has been a long trail of what's the word when you're not loyal? Disloyal. There has been a long trail of Priscilla where she is unloyal. What's the right word, guys? Unloyal to almost every person she has ever met, guys. You go through the whole of Priscilla Presley's history and she wasn't loyal to any of them. None of them. She's even had open relationships. Even financially, the wrongdoing that happened with Elvis Presley Enterprises. Even going back, remember, after the first divorce settlement with Elvis, she promised she would not have a second divorce settlement. She put it in writing, guys. The first divorce settlement, which was agreed by 1973 with Elvis, she said she would never go back for a second divorce settlement. She would never ask for more money, all property, all cars, you name it, all spousal payments. She did. She called Elvis a liar. She said that Elvis was hiding his assets, his income. She called him fraudulent. She had to lie to a judge from my opinion, for entertainment purposes. She lied to a judge and said that Elvis was lying so that a judge would allow her to go back for the second divorce settlement. How many of you know that Priscilla went back for a second divorce settlement, and that second divorce settlement nearly bankrupted Elvis, nearly bankrupted him, even a lien being placed on Graceland's, the building, a deed of trust created so that they could create a debt so that Priscilla could be paid in installments because Elvis could not afford to make these payments. This payment that she was demanding, which was millions on the second divorce settlement that she was not entitled to. Yeah. Again, no loyalty, not keeping promises. And then you've also got, how can I say it? If you break down, once she became the trustee on behalf of Lisa Marie, I personally think a massive injustice happened when they sold off Elvis Presley Enterprises, 85% of it, to Bob Silliman. Now, I think that's way back in 2005. And then it all happens again with Barry Siegel. There's complications there. So there is a lot of disloyal, unloyal behavior with Priscilla. I would say almost every single person that Priscilla met, she broke her promises. Almost every single person, including recently with Bridget Cruz, the auctioneer from GWS Auctions, and there's an ongoing lawsuit there. And now Priscilla is trying to get out of the mess that she promised to, the contracts that she signed to, that she promised to. She's trying to get out of all that mess, and she's claiming elder abuse and saying that she was conned by Bridget Cruz and her auction company, GWS Auctions, when we know there could have been wrongdoing where she was authenticating Elvis items in the auction room to help increase the value of these items being sold, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes. So I can keep going over things with you again and again. The bottom line is, Priscilla Presley, in my opinion, is not loyal and always breaks all of her promises. Breaks all of her promises. Every one. Not good, guys. Anyway, let's start reading some of these clips. Yep. Even that, Vincenzo, look at what she did to poor Vernon. He was dying and she made him sign documents to use the Presley name. There we are. The Presley name, another thing. She promised that she would stop using the Presley name on the first divorce settlement. It was a verbal promise. And what happens? She waits for Vernon to die, and then she starts using the Presley name again. She gave up the Presley name and started using the name Bulow, even naming her clothing boutique Bis and Bow. Yeah, if you look at her early TV appearances, she was known as Priscilla Bulow. She wasn't known as Presley. Even here with Elvis and Me, she still made sure she got the Bulow in there. She doesn't use Bulow anymore. She just uses Priscilla Presley now. The reason she just uses Priscilla Presley is because there's more money to be made. More money to be made using the Presley name, even though they had a divorce. She demanded a divorce. She got her divorce. She gave up the name. Elvis gave her a fortune. She broke up the family. She broke up Mike Stone's family. She went on to have many boyfriends, some of them long-term, like Michael Edwards, Mike Stone, very long-term boyfriends, but she still uses the name Presley. She still says that Elvis is the love of her life. All promises broken for decades with everybody, Right, now the reason I want to read these comments is because I keep storing these comments. I keep saying, right, I'm going to read them. You guys are giving me excellent comments every day, continuously. So I need to start reading some of them because it's not fair to you guys. Right, let's just have a look. I'm just going to quickly check the comments. She changed her name back to Presley. She sure did. Harper and Finley seem like they're nice persons, Louis. So sad they lost their mum. God, Vincenzo. The more I've got to know Harper and Finley through their Instagram and TikTok and that, they're just lovely girls. They're religious girls. They're Christian girls. Even today, Finley posted, let me see if I got it up. Oh, yeah, you know the Netflix documentary? In fact, I want to play that to you. Have you guys heard about the Netflix documentary that's coming out on November the 13th? Most of you probably have heard it. Well, Finley posted it on her Instagram. Let's go to Finley's Instagram. This is what's showing you that the twins are very loyal to Elvis and proud of Elvis and Lisa, of course. So have any of you seen the trailer for the documentary, the Elvis documentary? Have any of you seen it? Let's have a look. Let's see if I'll try and get Finley's thing up. And I posted the trailer yesterday. Let's have a look if it lets me do it. Look, there we are. This was on Finley's. Look, it says Finley Lockwood. Hang on, let me go back to the beginning. It's just jumped past it. Right, are you ready? This is Finley Lockwood, Elvis's granddaughter, 16 years old. She's promoting the documentary and the book. And the reason she's posted the bit from here to the great unknown is because it says, now this just shows you that these twins love their grandfather and their mother. that it's the New York Times bestseller. It's the new, and she's proudly boasting, if you watch, that it's the New York, look at the name at the top, Finley Lockwood, the New York Times bestseller. Yeah, a very proud granddaughter. So I'm getting a good feeling about the twins. They love their grandfather. Of course, they love their mother. They're very proud to be the granddaughters of Elvis Presley and the daughter of Lisa Marie. Anyway, I'm going to play. I want to play that trailer to you, actually, because I think it's important. Before I start reading the comments, let's find it. It's under videos. Right. So under my video section, I did find the trailer. Oh, actually, do you know, I can't play it to you because it'll be copyrighted. That's a shame. No, I can't play it to you. So I'm just letting you know, 13th of November, Netflix are releasing what looks to me like a very, very good documentary, and it's based on the 68 comeback special. So, yeah, I agree with you, Francis. I'm just quickly, right, okay. I want to start reading your comments, otherwise I'm never going to do it. Right, the first one is going to be from Christine Kingston. Hi, Louis. Right now, remember the comments are going to change because they're comments on different videos. This comment is on the video that is about Scientology and Michael Edwards, who has committed alleged sexual abuse against Lisa Marie Presley. Now, of course, we believe it. We have to say it's alleged because nothing's been proven. Right. Hi, Louis. Can you imagine existing as a child in the surreal but protective environment of Graceland? Lisa left Graceland when she was 9+ and apparently into the clutches of Michael Edwards at the age of 10. From there, she was placed into Scientology, where children have no value, no rights, no privilege. Seemingly, her mother had let her down on every level. Danny seemed solid, yet he too was raised into Scientology. Even Michael Jackson wanted her only for her bloodline. This is the opinion of Christine, okay? It is said that a child's values are pretty well set by the time they are 6 or 7 years old. That's probably true. If that is so, Lisa survived it all because of her years with her father. It was his values that she absorbed. I agree. I think that Lisa Marie definitely absorbed her father's values, and it's coming out now in the book From Here to the Great Unknown that they were very close. That Lisa Marie and Elvis were very close, and Lisa Marie, in her own words, says that the way that Elvis opened up to Lisa Marie was closer than anybody else, much closer than him and Priscilla. That the only person Elvis truly showed his heart to was Lisa Marie, his daughter. So that says a lot, guys. So that was Christine Kingston. Christine, thank you for the comment. You know I love you. Christine always gives me amazing comments. Let's go to the next one, guys. Okay. This is from EP Fan Forever. Margaret. Actually, sorry. EP Fan Forever. Yes, that's right. Yeah. Right, let me just get this right. From the stories back then, they were heavily into street drugs and alcohol and was always trying to get more money. And I think this is talking about the Memphis Mafia. Yeah, I think. I'm not really sure because it's not showing me what video it relates to. But I'll read it and we'll see. They were heavily in. Oh no, I think she's talking about the Stanley brothers. The Stanley brothers. They were heavily into street drugs and alcohol and was always trying to get more money. They were telling Vernon and Elvis a lot of made up stuff and probably some truths to embellish to get rid of them because they were scared of them and did not want to be watched over. Vernon kept the two of them on payroll in order to not have them out creating trouble. Yeah, I think it is about the Stanley brothers. Everyone said that they were really nice guys when you met them, but always watch your back. Billy Stanley had left and was working on his own at the time of Elvis's death. You know, we've heard about this. All of them have contradicted their stories many, many times. They are just stories I have heard from people who knew these people back in the 70s. And this is EP Fan Forever. And let's keep going. I think this is EP Fan Forever again. Let me just, on the same topic, I think. I believe these three men, so now we're talking about the tell-all book that the Memphis Mafia released, Dave Hebler, Red West, Sonny West, 1977. This was a betrayal book, in my opinion. It was massive betrayal. Did a lot of damage to Elvis. Mindy Miller has recently done an interview saying that Elvis was gutted when this book was released. Gutted. And we know about the secret conversation that Red West recorded when Elvis tried to speak to Red West concerning this book. And Elvis was such a gentleman. He was so kind and even offered his help to Red West, even though they had committed this horrible betrayal to Elvis by creating this book, Elvis, What Happened, in 1977, and it was released 2 weeks before Elvis died, which is just gutting to think about. That poor Elvis had to know that his friends that he grew up with had betrayed him in such a disgusting way. Sorry, guys, no one is going to get me to think that it was okay for that book to have been released. It was so wrong on so many levels. Yeah, we love Mindy Miller. Hi, Michelle. Right, let's keep reading this. I believe these three men wrote this book out of vengeance and money. I agree. Of course, it should have never been published, in my opinion. I agree. It hurt Elvis badly. I agree. I also believe Red and Sonny regretted writing the book. Yes, I believe that Red and Sonny wrote the book. Now, Dave Hebler. Now, coincidentally, I have posted a Dave Hebler, who was a karate expert, also a member of the Memphis Mafia, on the video channel, on my video channel. There's Dave Hebler part 1 and part 2, the interview where we reviewed it. So if you want to jump over to that after this, go over to the videos and you'll see the videos that we did on this topic with Dave Hebler. I personally found Dave, even though he is an elderly man, so I don't like to speak bad of the elderly, but I found him a bit angry, a bit defensive. I also found him not that friendly. And I didn't see any regret from Dave Hebler. But Sonny West and Red West, I think they regretted it till the day they died. And I think if they could go back again, they wouldn't have done it. That's just my opinion. So Dave Hebler is still full of anger and hate to this day. He has no regrets in writing it. I don't believe Red or Sonny had any idea of what Priscilla was putting Elvis through financially. Elvis was letting Vernon handle these matters. And unfortunately, Vernon did not handle matters well. And I do think, guys, you guys do have some views about Vernon Presley. Now, Vernon Presley, I know he's Elvis's father. I have mixed opinions on Vernon. I think not all good, not all bad. I have mixed opinions. What are your feelings, guys, on Vernon Presley? What do you think? Let me finish off with this comment. Elvis was letting Vernon handle these matters, and unfortunately Vernon did not handle matters very well. By the way, he fired them. So we know about this, where he gave them, supposedly they were only given weeks of notice or something, and I've heard that Elvis wanted each of them to be given, I think, $5,000, I think. And after 3 weeks, he was going to rehire some of them. Is that right? You guys tell me. You know better than me. You guys are more experts than I am. By the way, he fired them. If he could turn back time, Vernon should have fired Hebler and the Stanley brothers, his stepsons. I still believe the Stanley brothers caused the rift between Elvis and the Wests. That's interesting. That's the first time I've heard that. EP Fan Forever. I still believe the Stanley brothers caused the rift between Elvis and the West. That's the first time I've heard that. Do any of you agree with that, guys? Yeah, Vincenzo. I heard he was going to rehire them. Vincenzo, I know Vernon's heart was in the right place. I know he tried his best. I think Vernon was out of his depth. What do you think? Vernon, this very humble man from a very simple life, you know, back in Tupelo, suddenly thrown into handling all of the money stuff, all the financial stuff, all the bills, all the staff, etc., the Memphis Mafia, all that. I think it was too much for him. I think he was a bit out of his depth. And don't forget, as he got older, he wasn't very well. He had lung problems, heart problems, breathing problems. So, but yes, I definitely heard that Elvis was going to rehire them. Yes, I like that. Chilling in Canada, a hard man from a different era. I like that. And he was a hard man, wasn't he? He was tough. So let me just check your comments. So, hi, Gio. Let's have a look. Yeah, me and Adrian had a good chat. Anyone wants to speak to me, guys, you're always welcome. Lisa seems stripped down of her rights to make her weak after her father passed. Yes, definitely. Let's have a look. I read a comment on another stream that Linda does not describe Lisa Marie Presley in negative terms, and that the wild child narrative was Priscilla Presley's alone. Okay, well, that's interesting. Right, Jane, Trina, hi Jane. I read that the book is awful and you can't believe that they are writing about Elvis. They make him out to be a drug-crazed madman and just a load of rubbish, so full of revenge. Now, I have read about some of the book. There is the drug section, but they also do speak very fondly of Elvis. They do talk about the real good times they had. I want to buy that book. I keep putting it off. I want to buy that book and I want to review it. I think it's an important book to review. So I know that many of you here refuse to even look at it on principle, and I understand that. Let's have a look. Could be as the Memphis Mafia was trying to restrict the cocaine use. But yeah, now I personally think that Elvis ever took street drugs. That's just my opinion. You know, things like cocaine, all the serious. I think it was always prescribed medication with Elvis. Yes, there was things like obviously painkillers, uppers, downers, and things like that, sleeping tablets, and of course medication. Yeah, but do I think Elvis ever took street drugs? No, I don't. I think he was very against it. And Michelle Moore, you say, I have never read the book, don't want to as it hurts Elvis. I get it. With me, I use it to defend Elvis. Yeah, so I go through these books, I break down each sentence, and then we defend Elvis because we want the truth. This is exactly why I go through this book. We break this book down. We've done quite a lot of this book. We've done 16 chapters of this book so far. We're going to read chapter 17 next, very soon. And we read this book to defend Elvis, to expose the lies. This is why we read this book, because as you guys know, I don't believe a word of this book. This book was written by Priscilla Presley to make Elvis look bad and make her look like a victim. I've always thought that. Almost nothing in this book is true. There are no witnesses to this book. This was written by Priscilla Presley from her point of view. This is not history. This is not fact. This is not truth. So I use this book to defend Elvis by exposing the lies. Let's keep going. Let's have a look. Right, let's go. Let's finish this comment off here. Then we'll go to the next one. Elvis was letting Vernon handle these matters, and unfortunately, Vernon did not handle this matter well. By the way, he fired them. If we could turn back time, Vernon should have fired Hebler and the Stanley brothers, his stepsons. I still believe the Stanley brothers caused the rift between Elvis and the West. That's very interesting. That's very interesting, actually. Right, next comment. Elvis and Lisa Marie Presley forever. Hi, Louis. Apparently, the coldness and disconnection in Priscilla was there before she got involved in Scientology. Right. So I mentioned the effect that Scientology had on Priscilla. I also mentioned the type of personality and the type of person you must be to want to become part of Scientology, which to me is a cult. I think it was a very crazy, strange decision to go down the Scientology road. Obviously, the effect that had, the ripple effect, the catastrophic effect that becoming part of Scientology for Lisa Marie Presley was massive. Yeah. So what I was trying to say, that you've got to be a certain kind of person to join Scientology. And Priscilla obviously found it fascinating, and it just, for some reason, she liked it a lot, enough at such a young age for Lisa Marie to place poor Lisa Marie into Scientology, which is shocking. I personally think Priscilla putting Lisa Marie into Scientology was one of the worst things in her life that she has ever done. I personally think it did a lot of damage to Lisa Marie, and not just Lisa Marie. There was a knock-on effect, because this affected Lisa Marie's children. This affected Benjamin. I think it even has an effect today in some way. Right, so I don't have that much longer, guys. So I'm going to rush a little bit. Priscilla was there before she got involved in Scientology. So this person is, I think it's Kate, is saying that Priscilla was nasty even before Scientology. That's what she's saying. I remember Elvis said, as much years before, I always thought Priscilla was in Scientology, so she didn't have full responsibility of Lisa Marie. I'm not sure Priscilla was disciplined and gone through all of the necessary studying that was required to do. I think Priscilla was too busy enjoying life and was going around the world, but perhaps she owes them. Maybe she accepted too many favors and made too many promises over the years and is now indebted to them. She's talking about Priscilla indebted to Scientology, yeah? Who knows? Lisa Marie, in my opinion, was the one who was forced to do all the hard stuff and could possibly have been brainwashed. Guys, I'll repeat that sentence. Who knows? Lisa Marie, in my opinion, was the one who was forced to do all the hard stuff and could possibly have been brainwashed. Guys, Scientology, brainwashing. I'm not so sure Priscilla was though. So what this comment is saying is that they abused and brainwashed and mistreated Lisa Marie Presley, maybe even Benjamin and Riley, who knows, yeah? But not Priscilla. Priscilla was more of was used. That's what I think this comment is saying. They used Priscilla to get to Lisa Marie. And the reason they wanted to get to Lisa Marie is because it was Elvis Presley's daughter. And Scientology saw that as a win. Scientology saw recruiting Elvis Presley's daughter as a victory. Do we agree? So, I mean, that is it's shockingly sad. Shockingly sad. Let's have a look. They have all her auditing sessions in deep secrets on videotape. Yeah. And I'm starting to learn a bit about Scientology now, guys. It's shocking, isn't it? The Scientology stuff, I think there's still damage from Scientology now to this day, because I still feel, now I want to be careful how I say this, I still feel that the way that Priscilla grieves for the loss of poor Lisa Marie, who we miss and adore, and Benjamin, is odd. She doesn't know how to publicly grieve for Lisa Marie Presley, does she? And Benjamin, she must love them. Yeah, guys, she must love them. But this, what's the word? Indoctrination, is that the word? Brainwashing, this weird sort of Scientology thing makes her come across like she has no emotion, like she's really tough, hard-faced, like it never happened. when you watch Priscilla being interviewed, it feels like Lisa Marie didn't die, like Benjamin didn't die. She just carries on as if everything's great, smiling and laughing and giggling, off around the world, signing autographs for cash, off around the world, doing personal appearances. But poor Lisa Marie only died in January 2023. It's recent. Not even cold in her grave, God rest her soul. For some reason, the Scientology seems to turn off emotion. Do you guys agree with that? It switches off emotion. Just doesn't seem right, does it, guys? I hope Riley isn't part of it. I mean, Riley, I find with Riley Q, who we definitely defend Riley Q. We fully support Riley and the twins. But I do find her way to deal with emotion is a big smile, a big, beautiful smile. She covers her emotions by laughing and smiling. I do find that with Riley, and I mean that with a lot of respect, guys. But do any of you agree with that? Let's have a look. Hi, James, my friend. James, how's the diet going, my friend? You still on it? Give me an update. James is doing carnivore diet and keto. Let me know, my friend. Yeah, cold-hearted. Jane, cold-hearted, yeah. Like, unusually cold-hearted. Like, it doesn't make sense, guys. It's almost weird. It's like watching some kind of robot film. It's like, you know, I don't get it, you know. And again, giggling and laughing too much. So that Memphis book signing event with Riley Keough at Graceland, even then, Priscilla is laughing, belittling her own daughter in front of her granddaughter's mum. And let me just say that right. She belittles Lisa Marie Presley in front of Lisa Marie Presley's daughter. So you've got the grandmother sat with the granddaughter, belittling the granddaughter's mum. Say that in one mouthful. It's just odd. And then she's giggling through it. Weird. Weird. Right. So let me just quickly catch up with some of these comments. Riley Keough is not a Scientologist, but has a lot of friends who are. Well, that is P. Lentoff. Are you new? P. Lentoff. Lentikoff. P. Lentikoff. A new person, yes? Hi, welcome to Team Elvis. We defend Elvis and the bloodline together. Now, I will say this. We do defend Riley Keough and Finley and Harper as well, but I understand what you're saying. Now, obviously, Danny, her father, his grandparents. I think, well, let me just let my son in. His grandparents. Oh, I might use that. No, 1 second. Right, be quiet. Stay there, stay there. Yeah. Gio, Money starts here. Right, see you later, buddy. Take care. Right, you okay? I'm gonna put it away a minute. Okay. Right. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. My son was just dropping off his girlfriend. Where were we? Let me try and get back to it. So the dogs are barking a bit as well. Sorry about that. So we were reading that comment. Where were we? Let me just read some of yours. I think she read the book or got with Riley to see the book. She told stories that were totally opposite to the book. Yep. She did, Michelle. It was a great night. Priscilla is the princess, all right. The ice princess. Yeah, it does, Joe. It does seem that way, doesn't it? Right. So P. Lentikov is from Colombia. Welcome. That is our first person in Colombia. Very welcome. You're welcome to Team Elvis. So shout P. What is your first name? We'll call you by your first name. I think she read the book or got with Riley to see the book. She told stories that were totally opposite to the book. I think you're right, Joy. Let's have a look. Priscilla, Piers Morgan interview was smiling about Lisa. Do you know what, Francis? I think Piers Morgan was in love with Priscilla because that interview was pathetic. That interview that Piers Morgan did was laughable. He was literally kissing her ass, groveling to her. I thought he was going to get on his knees and start kissing her feet. Seriously, I'm surprised he didn't give her a bunch of flowers and buy her some chocolates. I thought he was going to start kissing her. Yeah, seriously. It's like they were in love with each other. Didn't make sense. The whole thing, I never understood. I've never seen Piers Morgan be like that. He was like a teddy bear. Does anyone agree with me? Let's wait for an answer to that. It's just started raining very heavily here. Yeah, it's like, I don't get it. Piers was practically holding Valvis. He was doing more than holding her hand, mate. Yeah. Gio, you know I'm right. It doesn't make sense. That I've watched thousands of Piers Morgan's interviews because obviously he's British. He had his own chat show here, a morning chat show here, Good Morning Britain. And I used to watch him every morning because he can be quite rude, can't he? He can be quite mouthy and attack, which sometimes is quite interesting, yeah? But with Priscilla, he was like, oh, you're royalty. You're like the Kennedys. You literally kept Elvis's legacy alive. Oh, look what you've been through. You lost your husband. What was it like losing your husband? They've been divorced. For 4 years, they were divorced before he died. And he died 47 years ago. And she's had 25 other boyfriends. He was talking to Priscilla as if she was still with Elvis. He was talking to Priscilla as if they were still married, like she was his widow. I'm like, Piers Morgan, did you actually do any research? Did you do any research? He even said in the interview, guys, he even said, how can I say it? You've never said a bad word about Elvis. Guys, rewind it. Go onto YouTube, watch it. Piers Morgan actually said, Priscilla, you've never said a bad word about Elvis, ever. Come on, guys. Oh, my God. I'm surprised he didn't get naked then and there and jump on top of her. So, yeah, pathetic is the word. Sorry, guys. I'm getting carried away. I'm cracking myself up now. Piers Morgan, man up. Do a proper interview. Do a part 2. Piers Morgan 2 with Priscilla interview and ask her proper questions. Ask her questions. James. James, I think you're right. Boyfriend number 26. James, you're being generous. You're being generous. Boyfriend number 26. I think we can add a digit. We can add a digit. I'm just being mean. I'm being mean. Louis, don't be mean. Gio, no. Don't do it, Gio. Don't do it. Oh my God, Vincenzo. He probably did behind the scenes, yeah? When the cameras were off. I'm just being cruel. I take it all back. I didn't mean a word of it, guys. For entertainment purposes only, yeah? For entertainment purposes, yeah? Oh, that was hilarious. Right, so Priscilla learned in Scientology that all interviews have to be prepared in advance. She tells them what not to say. Yeah, but Piers Morgan isn't like that, is he? Piers Morgan isn't right, give me all the questions in advance. That's not his style. That is why the interview with Piers Morgan was just so completely different than his usual way. So anyway, I did say I was going to, because we're coming to the end, I did say I was going to read a little bit of this, just like a couple of pages. Now, my 4-year-old son has been nagging me to read from this book. This book is called A Rough Guide to Elvis. Now, this book is the size of my hand. Look, it's a small book. Obviously, it's very fat. Loads of pages and pictures. £3 delivered in the UK. £3 from Amazon. From Amazon, £3. This is the best £3 I've ever spent in my life. It literally has everything you would ever need to know about Elvis Presley. So I'm going to just read a couple of pages from it because my son said to me, my 4-year-old son, Tino, came up to me and said, Dad, why don't you ever read this book? I like this book. This is my favorite. And he's asked me about 10 times. So I said, okay, Tino, the next time I do a live, I'm going to read a couple of pages. So I'm going to. So if you want to buy it, guys, I'm not making any money. A Rough Guide to Elvis. Go on Amazon. See if they're still for sale. I don't even know. I bought it months ago. £3 delivered. £3. Right. So let's have a look. I was just looking at it. I've never read it, but I was looking at it. And when my son was talking to me, and I saw one little section. Here we are. So I'm just going to read a little bit. Now, obviously, I could pick anything. Look, wherever you go, there's a different thing. The years of living dangerously, the 1970s, a teenage bronking buck, singers and idols, promised land. There's just thousands. I'm only going to read a page or two. So the Presleys' first years in Memphis were a case of the same story, different location, as Gladys and Vernon and sometimes Elvis all sought work to make ends meet. Their jobs were interchangeable as their homes. Right, who is that? Right, just be a bit quiet, yeah? Right. Their jobs were interchangeable as their homes. Their first one, true fixed abode before Graceland, was Winchester Avenue, Lauderdale Courts, from 1949 to 1953. Now, a lot of people don't realize this. They moved home quite a few times, even in Tupelo. Many people think that they were born and bred in the old Sotilla Roadhouse that he was born in. Yeah, was it a 2-room shotgun house? They moved a few times, guys. When Vernon went to prison, they were forced to move. Not many people. A lot of people think, right, they grew up in Tupelo in the 2-roomed house, and then they moved to Memphis. Then Elvis went to the record store, Sun Studios, and that's it. That's the story. No, there was a lot of house moves. A lot of house moves. They even went to Memphis and came back to Tupelo, and then went back to Memphis. So it's all interesting, guys. Yeah. Louis, you're on a roll. Yeah, I am a bit. I'm a bit full of energy today. So right, let's just keep going. Where are we? So Gladys and Vernon, sometimes Elvis, all sought work to make ends meet. Now, that's nice. They all would get jobs together. I like that. Gladys and Vernon, and sometimes Elvis, all sought work to make ends meet. Their jobs were interchangeable as their homes. Their one true fixed abode before Graceland was Winchester Avenue, Lauderdale Courts from 1949 to 1953. Elvis made a few friends at his new school, Humes High, although two of his fellow pupils, Red West and George Klein, became lifelong companions. Never one to suffer isolation quietly, he compensated for a vicious case of acne with a ducktail haircut. We all know about the ducktail, don't we? The DA. Elvis did have a bit of acne, didn't he, when he was younger? I wonder if there's a picture of here, Elvis with a bit of acne. I think there might be. There, here we are, guys. Elvis was spotty once. You can't really tell from that, can you? Oh, yeah, Sue, I know. I'm sorry, that was just so hilarious. Talking about Piers Morgan. I was yeah. Valvis, I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. Yes, I think you can still visit Lauderdale Courts. I think you can even pay to stay there. I've seen an interview. I'm trying to think who did it. One of the famous YouTube channels did an interview. The woman that is like the caretaker of Lauderdale Courts. You can pay to stay there. Let's have a look. Yes, right, okay, just Rubies, thank you for that. Yes, he moved many times, yeah. Francis, yes, I have watched the D. Stanley disgusting interview. We've even done a live stream on it. We will be covering it again. I know some of the other YouTube channels covered it as well, didn't they? So so it's disgusting. That interview is a joke. It should never have even happened. And I got a feeling Joe Esposito was there to defend Elvis. Is that right? In that D. Stanley interview, I think Joe Esposito was there, wasn't he? And defended Elvis, which is good because I know some of you have got mixed views when it comes to Joe Esposito and the racquetball business. I've had a few of you guys talking to me about that. Right. Elvis made... Let me shut that door because the dog's barking. Right, come on, what are you barking for? Come on. No more barking. No more barking. No. It's raining, you're not going out there. Pouring with rain, and the dogs want to go outside. Elvis made few friends at his new school, Humes High, although two of his fellow pupils, Red West and George Klein, became lifelong companions. That's a long story, isn't it, guys? We know about Red West stopping the bullies from cutting his hair. Yeah, we all know that story, which is what really that bonded them. But you know that I've actually had people tell me that Red West was once bullied Elvis. Do any of you know about this? I've read that Red West, before he got to know Elvis, used to bully Elvis. Is this true, guys? Right. Never one to suffer isolation quietly. He compensated for a vicious case of acne and a ducktail haircut. Red prevented bullies cutting it off. Even after the acne disappeared, he never lost his taste for flashy clothes and sideburns. That's true, isn't it, guys? Also, ever present was Johnny Brunette records seeing Elvis perform at a local fire station. He sang to the girls in his life, especially to First Love Dixie Locke. See, I didn't know that. Elvis sang at a fire station to Dixie Locke, his first girlfriend. Around this point, rock and roll history gets a bit muddy. Received wisdom has Elvis first meeting Scotty Moore and Bill Black in 1954 when Sun owner Sam Phillips brought them together. Black's son Louis insists that Elvis met Bill in 1951. That's hardly unlikely. Bill's mother lived in Lauderdale Courts and his younger brother Johnny used to jam with the 16-year-old Elvis in the laundry room. There we are, guys. He jammed with the 16-year-old Elvis in the laundry room beneath the Presley apartment. And I've seen this because you can go on YouTube and you can see that laundry room. And I watched this interview, and what they said was that the laundry room had a nice sound to it, had an echo, yeah. And Elvis liked the echo in that room, so they would use that room to jam. Have any of you heard that? So Vincenzo, Elvis won 5th prize of a talent show when he was 10 years old. Yep. Elvis and Lisa, let's have a look. All right, Jane's having dinner. Jane, I hope you're enjoying our show. Has everyone seen the video with June and Elvis? You mean right, June Junico, one of my favorite videos I've ever watched of Elvis in Biloxi, and they'd have 2 days on a fishing boat. It's beautiful. We've just had lightning. Did you see that, guys? We've just had lightning. Anyway, so does that mean we're going to hear the thunder in a minute? I think we might. Can you tell me if you see it? If you hear the thunder, guys? So yeah, Biloxi, and I know how Elvis met June Junico. He was performing, and he noticed her at the front, and he reached out to her and pulled her towards him and said, "What are you doing later?" And then they had a summer romance. And June Junico is one of my favorite of Elvis's girlfriends. She is stunning. She is beautiful. I love watching that video. Love it. It really gives you a sense of 1956 pre-fame Elvis. Even though he is famous, he's made a couple of movies, he's been #1 around the world, but I don't think that he has been touched by fame. So when you watch the Biloxi video of Elvis on the fishing boat with his mum, Vernon and Gladys, and some of the Memphis Mafia, and just messing around, having fun, fooling around, kissing and cuddling June Junico, you really do get a nice feel that Elvis was this lovely, genuine, kind, friendly person that loved life, untainted by fame at this point, 1956. I wish we could turn back the clock, guys. Wish we could turn back the clock. Yes, so Vincenzo talks about Bill, yeah, about meeting them. There is a picture as well. So, yeah, it's not very clear. I think we've all seen that picture before. Bill Black and the guys. So this book, I tell you what, I've only read about 10 lines, and it's really interesting already. So I think we're gonna go through this book in bits. I think I'm gonna listen to my 4-year-old boy Tino, and we're gonna go through some of this book. Yeah. So let's just read a bit more. So, the only surviving member of the trio, Scotty Moore, says he might have met Bill because Bill's mother and brother were still living in the Lauderdale courts. Bill had already married and moved away, but he might have met him if he had gone there visiting, but not in a musical content. Another boy, Jesse Lee Denson, was supposed to give Elvis guitar lessons. His father, James, says he remembers Elvis, his son, and Johnny and the Dorsey brunette and Johnny and Bill Black performing outside the Black apartment. Unfortunately, the date he gives was before the Presleys had arrived in Memphis, but he also recalls Presley crying like a baby because Gladys wouldn't let him go with the Burnett's to a concert at Millington Naval Base. There is also considerable, if not conclusive, evidence that Presley performed with the Burnett's before he walked into Sun in the summer of 1953 to cut My Happiness. So they're saying, we all know about My Happiness. He went there. He did that as a gift for his mother, yeah, in Sun Studios, which I think was called Memphis Studios then, wasn't it? So they're saying that he may have performed with the Burnett's before the famous cutting of the record, My Happiness. Is that true, guys? What do you reckon? Okay, right. Let's keep going a bit longer. Whilst the divergence might not seem to amount to a hill of bean, it does matter. The official story serves to confirm the view of Presley as an idiot servant, a man whose innate genius was as much of a genetic accident as premature hair loss. Dundee's account gives a sense of a more ambitious, determined Elvis practicing all he can before that all-important first record. Louis Black says his dad had been urging Elvis to go to Sun for at least a year before he finally took his destiny into his hand. We know also from Sam Phillips that Presley used to park his truck outside the studio as though steeling himself to go in. So he used to park outside trying to pluck up courage to go into Sun Studio, yeah? Just want to make sure my wife hasn't messaged me. Let's have a look. So I like this book. Is very interesting, guys. It's a more of an in-depth look at things, isn't it? So, right, let me just double check my wife isn't going to tell me off. So it's 5 to 6. Let me just. It's 5 to 6 in the UK, and it's just starting to get dark, guys. Something gave Elvis his final shove. The key may be the Humes School Talent Show. In April 1953, Elvis sang Cold, Cold, Icy Fingers and was asked to do an encore. After hearing the thunderous applause of his peers, one girl actually fainted. Elvis came off stage and blurted out to his teacher, "They really liked me, Mrs. Scrivener. They really liked me." The next month, he hitchhiked 240 miles to enter a talent contest at the Jimmy Rogers Country Festival in Meridian, Mississippi, and won second prize. A guitar. It took Elvis. So did he win a guitar? It took Elvis Presley 2.5 years to become an overnight success. And the hardest time was the 11 months that it took Sam Phillips to find a song that he thought suited the kid. With the sideburns after an abortive first attempt, Phillips put him in touch with guitar player Scotty Moore. He came to my house for like a pre-audition. I was very impressed. It seemed like he knew every song in the world. He didn't know all the chords and couldn't play them all on the guitar, but he knew them. He went in the studio the next night for an audition. The thing that some people don't realize, they think that we went in to record. We didn't. We went in for Sam to hear his voice. But during the audition, the song happened. He knew the song and I had never heard it. We know the next part, don't we, guys? I know this book is interesting, Vincenzo. I'm going to read a bit more. Now, this section is called A Star is Born. Let me just see if my wife replied. Let's have a look. No? Right, we've got a few more minutes then. The minute my wife turns up, I got to go because she's going to tell me off, guys. She's going to be like, "What are you doing? You're always doing your live streams. Get off the computer. Haven't you got other things to do? You should be cooking." Right. Yes, I love old Chet. Right. The song was That's All Right. The date was the 5th of July, 1954. Although the record went down a storm on the radio show of Dewey Phillips, the Memphis DJ who became Elvis's friend, and Presley became famous in his hometown, true stardom still didn't seem a long way away. Elvis and Scotty and Bill got their first official fan club in September 1954, the same month of the second single, a side called Good Right, the A side was Good Rockin' Tonight. There's Good Rockin' Tonight. Yeah, love that song. Was released the very next month. They were snubbed by the Grand Ole Opry, then embraced by the audience at the Louisiana Hayride. The Hayride success was crucial, with a signal that reached 28 states. The CBS radio broadcasting it every third Saturday. The show helped make Presley. His touring grew more ambitious, and as 1955 opened, he became a regional Southern star, a status made official by a riot at his concert in Jacksonville, Florida. And is that what's in the Baz Luhrmann Elvis film? That riot, is that what they're referring to, in Jacksonville, Florida? This was the point at which the most controversial figure in Elvis Presley's story, Colonel Tom Parker, entered the picture, and described on page 21, he had by the end of the year effectively become Elvis's manager. Interesting, guys. It's a pretty good book, yeah? Let's have a look. Let's just check your comments. From the webpage, Elvis not only sang and played with Johnny Burnett, rock and roll trio then, but on other occasions as well. When he'd get up a while, they were playing nightclubs and he would join them. Chilling in Canada, is this at the age of 16? Because didn't it say that he met the Burnetts when he was 16? Please educate me. Please educate me. You should, yeah, Gio, I should be cooking. I'm not going to, because I'm going to milk this for every second I can, because I'm going to keep talking to you guys until my wife comes home and tells me off. My passion comes first. My hobby comes first. Let's have a look. Say, my partner says I talk to you all more than him. Jane, it's probably true. It's probably Jane, this is my third live today. It's my third live. I do this because I enjoy it. Yeah. To me, talking to you is like chilling out and relaxing. So it's no effort. Let's have a look. A lot of people thought Elvis was black, Louis, because of his voice. Yeah, I get it. I get it. And come on, black people sing beautifully, beautifully. Louis, Elvis mentions that riot in Jacksonville in the movie Elvis on Tour. Right, okay. Yeah. And I got a distant memory of that, Vincenzo. I think I remember that a little bit. What's the title of the book? Right, you must, guys, A Rough Guide to Elvis. Yeah. And the author is Paul Simpson. Paul Simpson. £3 delivered. No extra charge for delivery from Amazon. Next day delivery. Next day delivery, guys. Crazy. I thought it was a joke. When I bought it, I thought, nah, that's not right. £3 next day delivery. A book. Nah. £3. Sue, did you order it from Amazon? How much was it? I'm interested to know. So I just burnt my dinner, laugh out loud. Debbie, you have to be careful. You're too distracted. A Rough Guide to Elvis. Yes, that's the one. And it's Paul Simpson. It's small. It's the size of your hand. Just a bit bigger than your hand. Look how fat it is, though. Massive. Massive. With pictures. £3.18, Sue. Delivered. Sue, is that delivered? Delivered, yeah? It's crazy. You would throw away £3. That's why I can't believe it. I heard Elvis played with Burnett when he was 16, Louis. Right, okay. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that really interesting that Elvis was good enough to play in a band, with a band, at 16 years old? I never knew that. Never knew that. Right, let's come on. We'll read a bit more, guys. Let's have a look. Right, this was the point at which... No, we've read that. So at this point, Colonel Tom Parker becomes his manager. Yeah? Right, next page. So then you've also got, you also have these blue, let me just show you. You also have these pages that are, you can't see, but they're sort of blue colored. Yeah. So you get the, you get the white pages. Yeah. Like that. But then you get the shaded pages. Let me just uncover Elvis's face. And the shaded pages are giving you information. I'll read one of the shaded pages. It's called the Louisiana Hayride. Yeah. And it says, broadcast live each Saturday night over the radio, KWKH, the Louisiana Hayride ranked second only to the Grand Ole Opry as a radio forum for country music. Established in 1948, it drew audiences from all over the southern Shreveports. It had 3,800 seats at the Municipal Auditorium in what's often called Elvis Presley's biggest break. He made his hayride debut on the 16th of October, 1954, as he recorded, I went down there as just a tryout and more or less, but he made enough of an impression to be swiftly signed to a one-year contract, later extended to 18 months. Just weeks earlier, Sam Phillips had pulled strings to earn Elvis a disastrous appearance on the opera. I think we know about that, don't we? The appearance that went wrong. The hayride was more open to new talent and had already launched Hank Williams, Webb Pierce, and Jim Reeves. It also, unlike the Opry, allowed use of drums, which were often played hidden behind the curtains by staff drummer DJ Fontana. We all know who that is. Horace Hoss Logan, the program director, dates Elvis Hayride as just a week after the Opry debacle on the 9th of October in 1954, but a real capturing Elvis, the first night performance owned by Joey Kent, owner of the remains of the Hayride archives, and a diary kept by Joyce Nichols, a teenager who regularly listened to Hayride broadcasts. Both put the debut on the 16th of October. Who gets the credit for Elvis Presley's appearance is the subject of complex dispute with honor claimed by and for promoter Tillman Franks, a local DJ, Tommy Cutrer, a record shop owner, Sam Lewis, and Sam Phillips. However, Elvis got into the hayride. What took place on the night in question is not a dispute. A veteran country artist, Floyd Tillman, finished his set just after 9 p.m. After a lucky strike with commercial page introduced Elvis, seeking to calm his nerves with a warm welcome and an exaggerated build-up. Just as nervous as he'd been at the opera, Elvis launched uncertainty into Elvis's That's All Right. Obviously, we know That's All Right. Hayride attracts normally wore Western attire. Elvis, with his bow tie and a sport coat and his hair slicked back, stood out a mile. The standard hayride format required acts to do 2 numbers. Those who made enough of an impact would then return in the second half for up to 5 more. That's interesting, isn't it, guys? At first, the reaction to Elvis was a bit weird with the music and was a bit muted. And the engineer had to turn up the audience microphone to pick a reasonable response. Gradually, the several hundred teenagers created such a clamor that one former Jimmy C. Newton was virtually booed off stage. The second time around, Elvis blew them away. The hayride was never the same again. Teenagers from across the South and soon dominated the audience. As no one could follow Elvis, he became the closing act on the radio end on the Hayrides package tours, and one of the dates. In Jacksonville, Hack Snow, whom Elvis revered, was booed off stage by the Presley fans. This was the moment that Colonel Parker came onto the scene. By the time Elvis's Hayride contract was renewed in November 1955, his fee had risen from $18 to $200, guys. This is the beginning, isn't it? This is when it's all starting to take off. And I think this is depicted in Baz Luhrmann's film. The same month, he was signed to RCA Victor, looking to break him in the North. The Colonel brought out the final 7 months of Elvis's Hayride contract. So his last regular appearance on the 31st of March in 1956, he returned for a final fling on December the 15th, 1956. The proceeds going to Shreveport YMCA. There was a mass hysteria as Elvis took to the stage with the Jordanaires, but the management had forgotten that no one could follow him. As a result, Horace Logan uttered what would become famous words: "Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has left the building." So that's where the Elvis has left the building comes from. And it was said by Horace Logan. And I think I've watched an interview with Horace Logan, if it's the one I'm thinking of. So, yeah, guys, I think we're going to get a lot of good reading out of this book. Right, let's read your comments. So, Jane has ordered it. Debbie, how much? Debbie, did you pay the same amount? How much did you pay, Debbie? Now, the thing I've noticed about this book, guys, is that it actually has a print on it. Look at the print. It says Bertrand's 17th of March 2004 staff shop. So this book is 20 years old, but it is in brand new condition. 20 years old, brand new condition. I'm not sure what that... Does anyone have any idea? Bertram's, Bertrams. Should we have a look on here? Bertram's shop, staff shop. I'm not sure why it says staff shop. Should we just Google Bertram's? So I'm just interested, guys. Bertram's. I'll put bookshop, yeah? Let's have a look what comes up. It says, right, Bertram's was the oh yeah, that's interesting, guys. Bertram's was the second largest United Kingdom based wholesaler of books, owned since 2018. There we are, guys. It has 200,000 titles available for the same day and has access to over 13 million books in print. The group includes Bertram Books, Bertram Publisher Services, and Bertram Library Services. Guys, there we go. Bertram Books. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm impressed. Right, I'm going to just... I think that's enough reading for now, but we're going to read more. I'm just going to check your comments. Then it's time to go, guys. Let's have a look. So I'm going to watch Elvis on tour later. I love watching Elvis on tour. I grew up watching Elvis on tour. Elvis in Hawaii. I've watched it so many times. Everything Elvis I have watched a million times. I live on Elvis. I wake up, I put Elvis on. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. I always Elvis. I go to bed, I read Elvis, I watch Elvis. Doesn't matter. First thing in the morning, Elvis. I'm bored in the afternoon, Elvis. Everything I do is Elvis, guys. Is it sad? So Debbie, £3.18. Got to find that book too. Only one left. Who's going to buy the last book? Come on, should we do it? Should we put it in Amazon, see what it says? Come on, we'll just have a bit of fun. Elvis book. Let's see what happens. Elvis book. So we've got... Guys, so do you know what? From Here to the Great Unknown is £12.50 delivered the next day. From Here to the Great Unknown. £12.50 delivered next day. It's a bargain. Absolute. Oh, it's sold out. You guys have all bought it. Yay. We've made it sold out. Shall I put it? The Rough Guide to Elvis. The Rough Guide to Elvis. Let's see what happens. This is on Amazon. Oh, I don't know. It's not sold out, guys. It's not. Look, here we go. I purchased mine on the 29th of June. It doesn't say sold out, does it? Look, it says add to basket. Let me show you. So there's the book. It doesn't say, look, it says add to basket. Let's have a look. I don't know. It does say only one left in stock. It does say that. Shall I click add to basket, see what happens? No, I won't do that because I'll mess it up for one of you guys. No, I'll leave it. It said only 2 left. They probably are sold out, guys. They probably are. Now, we promoted a woman on YouTube the other day. She was the woman that does the tarot card reading, the one that did a review on the book From Here to the Great Unknown. And I remember, let's see if we can get her up. I remember that her subscribers was like 174. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it up though, guys. And I actually have forgotten her name. And I noticed that after our show, she had about 50 more subscribers. Let's see if it comes up. What was that? Does any of you remember? Jane, you got one, yeah? Well, Jane, well done. Money well spent. Jane, excellent. You won't regret it. That is one of the best things I've ever bought and the best value. Well done, Jane. So this woman that was, do any of you remember the woman that had done the review on the book From Here to the Great Unknown? I'm just interested to know. Let me just have a look. I know I'm just waffling a bit, guys. Let's have a look. I think if I just say From Here to the Great Unknown book review, she may come up. Let's have a look. My God, there's a lot of reviews on here now. That wasn't here just now. So that's a new one. That is. I'm gonna watch that later. This woman here is reviewing it. From Here to the Great Unknown, and she's got 15,600 subscribers. So it must be pretty good. Let's have a look. Let's see if I can find the woman we're talking about. Oh yeah, that's what I found, guys. This, look at that, From Here to the Great Unknown on YouTube, and that is a free audio book. This is a shh, I gotta go. This is a free audio book. Free, totally free. Shh, shh, shh. Right, look at this free audio book. Completely free, guys, on YouTube. Bye. I gotta go. Love you. My wife's here. I gotta go. My wife's here. Bye.